Hey everyone, this is a bit of a special video today. Firstly and foremostly, it is dedicated to anyone involved in these shootings in Orlando. It is sickening that these things are still going on in the world and that people are being targeted simply for being themselves is just awful. Secondly, I would like to say, for those who don't know, I am part of the LGBT community. I am a bisexual man. I have had relationships with both men and women, and although whilst I am now in a relationship of over 3 years with my current girlfriend, I am not against any kind of relationships with transgender people either. I will accept anybody, any race. Somebody's race, gender or sexual orientation is no different to me than their hair colour. It is simply another aspect, and I believe that you should like people for who they are regardless of any of this. The reason I want to make this video today is in dedication to those Orlando and the shootings, is to tell you my story really, because I know that there are many people still out in the world young people who struggle with their sexuality. A lot of them obviously don't admit it. Maybe some of my subscribers are people like that. And so I want to make this video just to tell them my side of the story, and hopefully it will inspire other people to be more accepting, and also inspire others and make other people happy to accept who they are. So when I was about 16 was when I first sort of started to realise that I was having feelings for men and women, both men as well as women, and I was very conflicted because obviously at the age of 16 there's lots of hormones and things going on anyway, but it's also the fact that I was still at secondary school, and at that point, you know, being gay was seen as an insult, people would, there was the kind of thing of tripping you up, basically saying like, oh, do you like men? At which point you deny, you go no, and they're like, oh, you denied that very quickly, you obviously like men. Whereas if you try the other way and say yes, they're like, he admits he likes men. It was a very difficult time, and obviously I was feeling very conflicted because I was still attracted towards women, but I was being attracted towards men as well, and that didn't seem right to me because I've been, the idea that this was wrong, and I was very, very conflicted over it, and it did cause me, quite a lot of emotional stress. So I had to keep it quiet, obviously I wasn't out about it at the time, and, I was very conflicted because I was feeling these things which felt good, but, sort of the society that I was in at the time, and the playground, not the playground, but the college society was sort of saying, oh, this isn't good, it's viewed on it as, something that somebody could insult you with, so that didn't feel good, and so I was conflicted over what I was feeling, and then I was feeling these good feelings, but I felt like I shouldn't be feeling them, and I didn't know what to do. And then something happened that would change my life forever. I was introduced to a man who completely changed my perspective on things and made me truly accept who I am. And that man was Captain Jack Harkness. Now, all of a sudden, I was watching mainstream television where there was a character who was on television. This is something that's a family show and things, and this character was going, yeah, I like everyone, regardless of their race or gender. Deal with it. And it just kind of really suddenly, in me, made me feel like there was nothing wrong with this, and all of a sudden I felt a great relief that what I was feeling was perfectly normal, and that there wasn't, still isn't, and never will be anything wrong with this. It was just a huge moment of acceptance for me that all of a sudden I could be who I was, and I wouldn't never be afraid of being that. I didn't publicly immediately come out with it saying I'm bisexual, but I could at least be happy within myself to know that the day when I did decide to come out, that I would be fine with it. And I just want to make as well, this isn't me publicly coming out. This isn't my coming out video. I've been out as a bisexual man for a very long time. for several, about 5 years or so now, if not longer. I'm 28 now, and I had this sort of realization when I was maybe about 18 or so. So it's over 10 years, over 10 years, that I've been an openly bisexual man for, and there's not a single moment of my life where I have regretted being open about it. As I said, there are still lots of people in the world, unfortunately, who don't accept this, who think that it is wrong, who think that it is against God, who think that people who feel these things, such as I do, need to die. And to those people I say, you are cowards. You are narrow-minded cowards, that you cannot accept that some people are simply different to you. These are the people I don't understand. If you're really that accepting of tiny things that have they don't matter to you, someone else's sexual orientation does not physically affect you, and yet you hate them for it. So, are you the kind of person that hates somebody because their skin colour is different? Are you the kind of person that hates somebody because they are transgendered? Are you somebody that would hate your own mother simply because she is a different gender to you? I don't understand the mentality of these people, because they are picking traits and they are completely twisting them into something that they're not. I mean, maybe sort of 40, 50 years ago, a woman's place was in the home. Women were seen to be lesser than men. Sadly, that still goes on today. It's not true. Women are not lesser than men. Everyone is equal. But it is a way of fact of life that was a point at that time. And it makes me wonder if there are still people out in the world today who still have those views. Obviously, there are people who still have those views. Unfortunately, I'm very sad to say that even in my local town, I know there are several people who still consider women second-class citizens, who dislike anybody who isn't English and white. It is an awful, dreadful thing, and it's one of the reasons I'm actually quite glad I'm moving away. But unfortunately, I simply don't understand these people, and I genuinely think that it's not that I just don't understand these people, it's that these people will never be understanding. They will never be able to accept. They will never be able to accept what is right, what is perfectly natural, and what is perfectly normal. And that's kind of the reason why I wanted to make this video as well. It was not just in dedication to those in Orlando and to the families of any of those involved, families of people who've been lost, and to the victims themselves, but anybody who is watching my videos who may themselves be going through this, who may be struggling with their sexuality. You don't have to struggle. You are not alone in this. Probably thousands, millions of people go through this kind of struggle day to day. And I'm not saying that you have to shout it loud and shout it proud. If you wish to do that, there is absolutely nothing wrong with doing that. But if you are struggling and you don't want people to know, that's fine. You don't have to tell people. But just remember in yourself that what you are feeling, there is nothing wrong with it. There is nothing wrong with you. What you are feeling is absolutely perfectly normal, and nobody should tell you otherwise. And that's really all I have to say. I'm sure that this video is going to get a few dislikes. I wouldn't be surprised if there are some comments on this video that people show their displeasure about it. But to those people who decide to berate me, insult me, or insult the LGBT community in general, I say to them, shame on you, because you are exactly the kind of person who is the coward I am talking about in this video. If you dislike this video for me openly sharing my views, if you dislike this video because I am, in your eyes, coming out as a bisexual man, and you cannot accept the idea that you have been enjoying the videos of a bisexual man, what does that say about you? What does it say about you that you're so petty that you can't just accept that somebody's lifestyle, which has no effect on you, which has no direct implications in your own life, that you can't accept that? Just, I feel sorry for you. I really do, because the world is going to progress. This is the way the world is going to go, and you are going to get left behind. So please stop the hate. Stop demeaning people for something that is perfectly, absolutely normal.